Welcome friends. My name is Ramanuj Mukherjee and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, in these episodes, we introduce to you emerging companies from emerging sectors. And today, friends, we've got a very interesting company which is going to hit the SME markets. And the company's name is Addictive Learning Technology Limited. And we have the privilege of having the managing director of the company, Mr. Ramanuj Mukherjee. Uh, Mr. Mukherjee, thank you for sparing your valuable time with us. I think in this small interview, we'll be able to understand your company's operations in a much better manner.
I look forward, sir. This is a great privilege for me to be here with you and your listeners.
Yeah.
And hi, everyone. It's like I really look forward to this discussion.
So, Mr. Mukherjee, the first question, which is very elementary, if you could tell us, what are the business segments the company operates in, and if you can explain in general, what is this e-learning platform about, and how did this business journey start for you as an entrepreneur? If you could start.
Absolutely, sir. So, see, basically, we have been an online courses company. We have been selling courses online, and fundamentally, the online medium doesn't matter so much. Entirely, we are a upskilling company. We are here. Basically, what happens is that 70% of our users, unlike most other edtech companies, 70% of our users are professionals over the age of 30 who want to upgrade their knowledge and skills or get into some new profession, maybe new career, something new. And this is what has been basically our mainstay, that we help them to achieve that. We also have other courses. We have also some people who are at the age of 25, 20 also. Maybe somebody is preparing for a judiciary exam, somebody is preparing for a UGC net law exams. We have test prep as well. We have bar exam courses as well, California bar exam, Canadian bar exam, solicitor qualification exam. But basically, we sell courses. Now, this is how it has been. Where we want to be is a little different. So we have what we started doing. See, basically, the entire business, the life blood of our business is that am I able to give people either jobs or internships or freelance work, right? So people above the age of 30, maybe they don't want to do a job anymore, they want to do freelance work, or they want to earn on the side something extra. So our job is to get them that work. So that's how we started also exporting services, because we realized that earning a, like, let's say you have to earn 100 rupees in India, it is quite difficult compared to earning $100 in the US, which is a lot of money. But that it's easier to earn $100 because of the economy, because of the difference in prices of services in India and there. So for example, I will tell you a story how this happened. So basically, the other area of our work is essentially services export. We are not making any money from there yet, but we are already giving crores worth of work to our learners. And over time, we foresee that we will become a platform, a technological platform, which will enable this services export. So that will be another area of work for us. Now I will tell you a short story, if that is okay with you. So it's how we came up with this. So 2020 pandemic, generally for most edtech companies, it was an exciting time. They had a faster growth. For us, it was not like that. For us, it was a challenge, because lawyers said their jobs, people who had jobs coming up got cancelled, internships got cancelled, clients are not paying. So people were very pessimistic. They're like, if I have to, okay, I will watch some free videos on YouTube, but why should I invest now so much money when there is no guarantee when things will be normal, when I will get an opportunity? So we were our growth flatlined during that time. Okay, so we are doing about a crore revenue per month, and it flatlined. So we had to figure out something, that how are we going to continue our growth, or are we going to say no, wait for the pandemic to get over? And I had an idea, a brainwave one day, and the idea was that, okay, we have all these lawyers here. They are struggling. They are struggling to pay their rent at this point. Many lawyers went back from big cities to their villages because they couldn't pay rent at that time. So, so the question was that I was working remotely. I was in a resort town called Shanti Niketan near Calcutta. I was working remotely. I went to meet my parents in Calcutta from Gurgaon, and I was thinking that okay, if everybody is working remotely, then why can't Indian lawyers work remotely with US lawyers? Can they help somehow by doing some of the work if they knew? Is it possible? Because then they can earn $10 per hour. At least a good US paralegal will charge $30 per hour, $40 per hour. But can you earn at least $10 per hour if you work remotely with US lawyers? And experimentally, we started teaching them US patent and trademark office work. This is a very specialized thing. We started teaching this, and people started earning a lot of money. And it showed us that what is possible. It was mind blowing. Criminal lawyer in Agra who was struggling starts working for e-commerce companies in 30 countries
Exactly.
and starts earning 5 lakh rupees per month. Mind blowing. Bombay law student starts working with Texas law firm as a paralegal, earning 1 lakh rupees, hasn't even graduated, working 4 hours a day. It was like, oh my god, what is happening? This is a different world. We have stumbled upon a gold mine. And then there was no stopping. That
Okay.
1 crore per month. By the time the pandemic got over, became 3.5 crore a month. And it is a whole new world. Like, imagine every person is restricted normally to their one city or some city they know. They can't just see the world as a playground. And now if you can do international remote work, suddenly why can't you people go from Bihar, from any other, West Bengal, from different states to like Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, to get a decent job?
I think Mr. Mukherjee, very nicely articulated by you. I think this story is very enlightening. Just wanted to understand a little more about your tech platform. If you could tell me, how many people manage this tech platform, and secondly, if you could tell me what are the broad kind of services which this platform offers. If you can just briefly tell us, which can help us understand, from the technology point of view, how strong and robust your team is, and secondly, in terms of the products and services what you offer, if you could give us some kind of bird's eye view, what is actually offered on this platform,
Sure, sure.
LawSikho.
So your question is on take. So one thing I want to clarify at this point, because I have seen this, although you didn't ask me that directly, but I think I should give a disclaimer. That is, see, LawSikho is one of our brands, right? I told you all the stories. This was all law, right? But then we realized that why restrict ourselves to law? Law is a small market. There are much bigger markets. Why can't we do, if we can do law, why can't we do accounting? Why can't we do bookkeeping internationally same
Correct.
way? Why can't we do HR? Why can't we do data science? Why can't we do content writing? And we started launching those also. Obviously, I couldn't do it in the brand of LawSikho, so I had to launch a brand called Skill Arbitrage. And we have a
Okay.
Dataisgood, which we acquired, which is another brand, which is phenomenal in data sciences. And you know what? There is another fun thing. Just like there is this arbitrage that in India you know some work, you can do the work in US. In some areas there's that arbitrage that you teach people in those countries. So data science is one of those areas. So 36% of the sales as of last month is happening in the US. This month it might become 50% because US market penetration is growing at rocket speed. For we are sitting in Noida and teaching people data science in New York, in San Francisco, in Wisconsin. This is incredible. This is also happening now. Your other question, that what is the technology, then what do we do? number one is that Number one is our edtech product, which is basically, see, people hate studying. Let's admit it. Most people, there are some unique people who like studying, but most people, especially at the age of 30, they are like, why I have to study? Why I have to give exam? Why? Like, not the most comfortable thing. Brave people, they are venturing into this, but just because you have signed up for a course does not mean you'll actually complete it. As a company, our biggest hurdle is how do how do I take people from point A when they're aspirational, they want to learn something, and point B where they have learned it and they have applied it. So for that we have built a technology. So we have a learning management. We use some off-the-shelf software also, but then we have built a lot of technology on our side to manage this huge number of people. and then actually train them. And there's lot of different technology, different pieces of technology. I'll give you an example. So imagine that we have a technology that we have developed where we are using artificial intelligence to give feedback on people's assignment. One of our very high cost always has been that we give one-on-one feedback, because just by see, if you want to learn dancing, can you read a book on dancing or watch a video of somebody else dancing and learn dancing? No, not possible. So how will you learn? Somebody will tell you, okay, here is your assignment. For 5 minutes do like this, 1 minute do like this, and then you will do it. And if you do it wrong, they'll collect, no, don't do it, like bend your hand like this, move your head like that, and you will be learning from that feedback. That is how we teach. That is how we teach. Now let's say you drafted a contract. I need to tell you that here are these 5 things you have done well, there are these 5 things you have done badly, these are the things you have done better than last time, keep it up. Now if I can give that feedback, it becomes really great. Now imagine I have to give this feedback to thousands of people every day or every week, right? It becomes a very haphazard experience. Most people cannot do it. Imagine if there are 1,000 people, you will need, I don't know, some 100 people who are giving them feedback. Now this 100 people may be having different opinions and teaching different feedback they're giving different people. How do you harmonize all of this? So you have to build an artificial intelligence which standardize the marks, which standardize the comments, which works like a guardrail for the human evaluators. So this is one example. Sir, actually we have built so many different technology. What can I say? I can keep going, but there are multiple things. But basically our technology is around, one is managing this huge volume of people. Second, getting them work. Third, basically, managing their experience of studying. We have 35 people tech team, right?
Okay.
We are working a lot on artificial intelligence also in this whole process.
Oh, fine. Mr. Mukherjee, now tell me one thing broadly. In the last 3 years, how many students, has the company trained? And on an average, every year, what is the kind of new onboarding of students? If you could give us some idea on that.
Sure, sir. Basically, we have been doing the number total 3 years. I mean, it would be around 30,000. But initially, it was much lesser. Now it is growing like anything, right? So currently, we are catering to about, actually last 2 years, the number of students have been similar. We have been charging more. The average revenue per user has doubled in the last 1 year. But around 1,200 students per month we onboard. So last
roughly,
year
Mukherjee, just one thing. Now you mentioned about ARPU. If you could tell me what is the blended ARPU, if you could give us some idea, because ARPU going up is definitely a good sign. But moti, what is the broad ARPU which we have been getting? I mean, if you could give us a range.
I will tell you, in August when we filed our DRHP and all of that audit happened, that time RPU was around 50,000 rupees, something give or take, 500 rupees more. I mean, don't hold me to exact numbers, but around 50,000 rupees.
And what is the normal time duration of the course? If you could tell us, this 80,000 rupees.
Yes, I will tell you. Currently, sir, it has already gone up to 58,000 since August. Okay.
No, but what is the time duration? Time duration,
sir, actually how it works is basically our courses are normally a course will be about 6 months normally. Okay. But I would often sell people a bundle of courses, so they will get a bundle. Okay, so they'll get 2, 3, 4 courses. But what really happens is that there is one real course that they're doing which will produce them, and the others are bonus courses which are ancillary. They may or may not do it. So, but 6 months to 1 year, there are some areas where we need to give 1 year because it just takes so much time. If it is a bar exam course, for example, it may take even 1.5 years. So California bar exam, an India registered lawyer will prepare for California, where we give them 1.5 years. Then, so this is how it is.
And Mr. Mukherjee, now tell me one thing, like in terms of the competitive landscape, what is the positioning of our company? Because I understand, you all have scaled up significantly in the last 2 years. Obviously, you all have got a unique e-learning platform. Now, tell me one thing, what is so special? What is the bigger competitive moat which the company enjoys, and how, company does its job much better than, say, other players in the industry? So if you could highlight some qualitative points for us.
Sir, I have also thought a lot about it. I keep thinking about this is my job every day to think about this, that what are others doing and what are we doing differently. Our primary factor is that we are able to actually connect the education with a job outcome, internship outcome, or a freelance work outcome, right? So our classes, everything is built around that okay, how do you, what is the work available in the market and how do you get that, everything is around that. And why can't somebody else do it? Anybody can, I mean, I guess other people can do it, but what I have seen is that people have not been able to do it. There was a time when a unicorn company, very big, I'll not take the name today publicly, but I have written about it publicly before, but big company wanted to buy us, offered us a lot of money, said okay, we'll acquire you. So at that time, obviously, I discussed with them that okay, this is how we do everything and all of that. And so this person became very bullish on law as a sector, right? He's a very famous person. If I mention, you'll immediately recognize. But he became very bullish on law as a sector. That time we were not doing non-law. Immediately he became very bullish on this and decided to do it. And then the acquisition talk didn't go through. I said, no, sir, this is not working out, whatever reason. And then he said that if you don't, then I am going to launch it ourselves. And you know how much money we have, right?
Okay.
And I was very scared. That is when I started talking to investors, because I'm like I have we have just about the money to manage things every month, managing cash flow. Here somebody is coming and saying I will pump 100 crores into this. So I'm going up against a big guy in a big fight. I started pitching to investors that, immediately I went and talked to my mentors. But you know what happened? That thing completely fizzled out. They launched. They spent a lot of money on ads. They got their initial students. Now today they're out of the market. You know why? Because they could not produce that job and internships outcome. That's all I can see.
Oh, understood. Mr. Mukherjee, this is very clear that you all have managed to do things in a much better way. Tell me one thing: how many trainers do you have? Because obviously, does this e-learning
My
platform
delivery team has 200 people. 200
delivery
people
team?
in delivery team, and my placement team, which is doing all this sourcing of work, that's 100 people, right?
Now coming to the financials, Mr. Mukherjee, very briefly, we saw FY23 has been a very strong year for you. I think we saw revenues of almost 33 crores from 19 crores, and your profit after tax is almost 2.47 crores from a net loss. So, first let us congratulate you. Very good numbers. But first, how did this improvement take place? Was it because more students got enrolled? Your costs were more or less, properly, there was economies of scale. And going forward in the coming year, that is FY24, we are now almost in January. Without giving a number, Mr. Mukherjee, if you could tell us what has been the traction in FY24. So if you could enlighten our viewers.
Sir, our goal in the beginning, when you were very small, just started 2018-19. Our goal used to be that we will double every 6 months. Okay. And we did that year after year after year after. First 3 years of our existence, we doubled every 6 months. Then it became, so if you look at the numbers, if you look at 2021, right? 2020 to 21, that you will see we have tripled, right? In a year, we have tripled our top line. Now, we were a company where we were very clear that, we can be very large. Let's not take numbers, but it's the global market is so big, that's where we want to be, that's where we want to play. And we are a bootstrap company at that time. EdTech, there was funding boom and this and that, but we didn't understand what was the expected from the venture capitalists, and so many discussions didn't go through. So he said, we are going to reinvest everything. We are not going to take any money. Initially we didn't even need to take a salary. We'll be like, okay, let's just. So the focus was not to make a profit. If you think of it, it's like, even if I have extra cash flow, I will want to invest it into growing even faster. I will launch a new course. I will go and hire a new trainer. I will go and experiment with advertising in a new market. That's how I will think, right? And naturally, there was no focus on making any profit.
So understood. But I'm saying in the current year, what was the reason the profitability, jumped significantly from a net loss? You all became profitable. So was
Our
it because
focus
more
growth
students
continues.
increased?
Number of students increase. So the number of students is actually more or less same because our course we started charging more for our courses. Number one. Number
Okay.
two is what happened is that we spent a lot of money into last year developing a new array of courses in new areas.
Okay.
And now we are
Okay.
not developing so much of new courses because developing a
Okay.
new course is very expensive. Imagine you're developing a California bar exam course
Yeah.
or a Canadian bar exam course or Ontario bar exam and so on. Solicitor qualification. The cost has been humongous to build the first cut of those courses. Now we
Yes.
continue to upgrade, but our costs
Okay.
are not there at that level. But
Mr. Mukherjee, it means that obviously for FY24, can we expect the same traction in revenue and profits going forward without giving a number?
we are accelerating. We are
Okay.
accelerating away. Every morning I look at my phone, I wake up and look at the number, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what is going on. That's the situation I'm in today. And
No, but
in a good way,
excuse
right?
me, Mr. Mukherjee, one important question is you said last year the students were more or less the same and the realizations increased. Now, going forward, what is the strategy? Do you intend to increase this number? I think you said up till now
I
30,000
plan to
students you have enrolled.
multiply it. It will be a business grid up. I'll tell you what happens today, right? I told you, remember a story of a guy who's working with US law firm, working with they were working on somebody else's platform. Now imagine that guy who's earning 5 lakh was working on my owned platform which we are building.
Okay.
Then I will not only charge him 50,000 rupees. I made only 50,000 rupees. He's making 100x of that in a year. Now imagine I was able to charge a 10% platform fee because I found the work for him.
Okay.
And he
Okay.
was working on my platform. Now imagine how the situation flips.
Going forward, Mr. Mukherjee, the platform fee is also going to add to your revenues. Is my thinking right?
Absolutely. And that gives us such a moat that good luck to anybody who wants to build because there are good recruitment companies, there are good edtech companies, right? There are platforms where you can find work and there are people who train you. There is no
Okay.
combining these things. We are combining these both things. We will be like we are in a world of and league of our own going forward when
Okay.
both these happen.
Understood.
My
I
job
think
as a CEO now is to make this happen.
fine, fine. I think very nicely articulated by you, Mr. Mukherjee. Now, tell me one thing: is this business, negative working capital oriented? Because you obviously must be taking the fees upfront, or how do you take the fees from the
Upfront, very
student? Is
good.
it upfront, or is it in
Upfront,
installment? So,
fully
what is the
upfront.
working capital cycle? If you could tell us.
So our students pay us on day one, right? Negative
Okay.
capital
Okay.
requirement is not there. It can happen sometimes if I am building a lot of courses out at once because you are creating a lot of IP at once. You're building a lot of technology at once, front ending that and marketing. So there it can happen. Otherwise, no.
Okay. So, but normally, what is the working capital cycle if it is not negative? Is it 45 days, 50 days, any kind of number which you could, tell us?
Sir, I am receiving the money in advance on day one
And
and
there are
then
no other
spending.
costs. So basically, it is prepaid business. You get the money in
Prepaid.
advance,
It is
right?
prepaid. Yes, correct.
Understood. So then I think the working capital cycle is very negligible. Now tell me
Hmm.
one thing. Post COVID, you mentioned about COVID in your conversation. I think tell me one thing. What is the kind of market opportunity for us in the next 3-4 years? Again, without giving a number, if you could tell us, for addictive technologies, what is the kind of opportunity size which the company is targeting? Today we are 33 crores. In the next
Hmm.
3 years, can we assume that can we be a 100 crore top
Sir,
line company?
we are
Just
33 crores, you're talking about March to August number, 5 months, right?
yeah.
This year we will, we have already done at least over 50 crores already we have done, right?
Okay.
As of today. So my goal is to hit a 20 crore kind of per month revenue. That is the benchmark I have
Okay.
set for the timing. There will be new goal. That's a different thing, right? For
Okay.
that, today I'm selling it to 1,000 people per month, 1,200 people per month. How can I go to 4,000 people per month? That is now
Understood.
this is my
Understood.
business problem I'm working on, right?
No, I
What is the
understood.
concept? Why can I not do that today? Only one reason. I don't have that many trained sales counselors. I don't have any enough marketing sales channels. That is the restriction. That is where I have to build. Once
Yeah.
that is built, then I have to scale up also my placement. That okay, now you are
Yeah.
placing these many people.
Okay.
Now can you training is not a problem for me. that I have
Yeah.
strength. But placing it, so I have to like go to US, I have to go to UK and Canada and Singapore and create that workflow and build a bigger team and all of that. So that is primarily my job going forward. And if you're asking me what is the market size, we are sitting on a $7 billion market, and there are very few players in this market, right? In what we are doing, we are upskilling Indian talent to get international work. That's our domain,
No, and
right?
no, no,
Yes.
I think very nicely articulated again, Mr. Mukherjee. Now, last question, which we ask all the promoters. Now, see, you have seen COVID, and obviously, COVID actually helped you generate some new business because of your thought process. Tell me one thing: in our business, what is the major risk which we have to face? Like, there must be some risk attached to our business, and if there is a risk, Mr. Mukherjee, how have we effectively mitigated this risk? Because finally risk mitigation is one of the important things when you manage a business, when you have so many people on board. So if you could tell us something on that. And most importantly, in terms of the cost management, is it only is the major cost only employees, or is it hardware IT cost also? I just want to understand, for every rupee you earn, what is the major cost, whether it is employee, whether it is IT
Employees,
cost.
employees, sir.
Okay.
Employee, thoda sa, little bit of IP perhaps. So I really like your question about risk. So let me answer that. There are three risks that we identify. Okay. One risk is that today the what am I teaching to my learner has to be cutting edge and it has to change fast.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
I will give you an example. Earlier, we used to teach people how to draft a Supreme Court petition, right? How to write
Yeah.
draft a writ petition for the Supreme Court of India, right? And we used to teach them in a different way. Today, we teach them how to draft it using artificial intelligence because that is much faster, much better, right? So one thing is
Okay.
that this evolution will keep happening, and my job is to keep up with it and keep my programs cutting edge, that and never stop at it. So one is that, and to find people who can create such kind of courses and knowledge at a scale is extremely difficult. They're hard. Such people, I mean, if you go out today, you will find many decent lawyers. But if you tell a lawyer, okay, how do I draft my petitions on contracts with AI, they would not be able to guide you. That is a different problem
Yeah.
itself, right? So now that is where I'm working. So my challenge is to find that talent of that quality, keep them with me, and keep growing. So this is one, and keep creating knowledge like that, right?
Okay. Okay. So
Number
basically,
one.
you need to upgrade your content. That is the most important thing in our business, so that
Yes.
you all are
Yeah.
having cutting edge content, right?
Yeah. Because somebody will come and say, oh, I have learned very nice thing. Now let me go build the same course, etc. Right? That will
Okay.
happen. But somebody will take the knowledge and put it out on YouTube. So am
Yeah.
I being able to add something more after that?
Ah,
You have to
exactly.
be ahead of time. You have to be ahead of the market. So that is one.
Okay.
Second thing is that today I am last year we have placed 2,300 people in jobs. 8,000 plus people got freelance opportunities worth 4.15 crore that we have sourced and given, and 6,000 plus people got internship. Very good numbers out
Okay.
of 10,000, right? Now, imagine that I achieve my dream of enrolling 40,000 people, 50,000 people in a year, and my placement does not grow. It is remains where it is today. Now, today everybody is happy, my students are happy, but then everybody will scream that what is this? We are not getting results. So I have that challenge that how do I keep growing? And that's a very big risk. 8,000 people got freelance opportunities, another 6,000 people got internships. So it was very fabulous number. Now that is at the current level of student intake. Now the student intake grows 4x, 5x, right? So the at least, if not a better ratio, then at least the same ratio has to be maintained. And that is a challenge for me, to have these people trained well and then get those opportunities. Because if that does not happen, today everyone is happy, but the moment that placement numbers does not strike the right note, then it can be very damaging for us in terms of branding, reputation, everywhere.
Right.
The third thing today that we are facing everywhere, and it's every edtech company is facing this, does not matter, is that people have their faith. They're like, we don't know how this course will pan out, what will happen, is it trustworthy? And this is happening everywhere, because there have been, I mean, obviously we don't want to take names, but probably some names come to your mind where there is so many controversies that have happened, where people have joined various edtech courses. So people are scared, and this is very I mean, we have to overcome this problem. But no matter, I mean, obviously, to many people cannot really differentiate that what is a good edtech, what is not, and it's a challenge. We have a challenge as a sector, that how do we win people's faith back. So I think that will come from doing the work that we are doing and communicating about it. So we have been able to do a good job so far, and with help from people like you, we will be able to communicate better about the opportunities and track record. And I think there has to be some better government mechanism, also regulatory mechanism. This is the result produced, and this is disclosed, and everything is transparent. So you should have that kind of thing with the tech companies also. How many information should be made available. And see, today we make the information available. 13 people wrote the Tamil Nadu judiciary exam, mains exam, and 7 of our people cleared. We said that 7 of our people cleared, 5 did not clear, or whatever, 6 did not clear.
Clearly, you have identified the risks very well, and I think you have given so many examples, I think, which clearly says very highly about your e-learning platform. So I think thank you very much for your valuable time today. In fact, in this small interview we could understand your company's model in a much better way. So viewers, if you like the video, please like and share it. And Mr. Mukherjee, once again, thank you very much, and best wishes for your company and your forthcoming IPO. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.